Hello, everyone. Firstly, I want to apologize in advance for my for my English, okay? Because I know I will mistake in grammatical form. I know, but I hope that you will be able to understand. Okay. Well, my name is Juanjo. I am a software developer and an accessibility specialist. I'm working now in Pasiona. It's a software development company, a specialist in .NET technology. We're working with .NET Microsoft, creating Windows application, mobile application with Xamarin, and above all, web applications. All this with .NET platform. We have also a foundation called Tectencias. The web page is, I put in the notepad, okay? So, it's a foundation for share knowledge. We like learn new technology, we like practice, we like learn. So we like share this knowledge in this foundation. Every 4 months we make conference called 4 sessions. The problem is it's in Barcelona, but if you travel to Barcelona, you are invited to view the session or to give speech in there. Okay. Well, I want to explain a quick accessibility concept, because the accessibility is very known in the developed world. For example, how many of you know the accessibility concept regarding the software development? Please raise your hands. What? No. We have the first problem, no? Yeah. So this barrier is solved very, very easily. Do you have your mobile phone here? Yes. Yeah. Please go to the next, the following address. Notepad again. ¿Se puede o no? 1 second. Posiblemente aquí sea mejor. ¿Se ve? Un poquito más grande. Takingpart.me. Okay, this is a very, very stupid application that allows me to see your answer, and I can make question and I can read your answer. It's a very simple application, makes in .NET, in MVC and Signaler. Do you know Signaler? It's a WebSocket infrastructure to create bidirectional connection between me and you, and I can view in real time the answer for a question. For example, I can make a question. I'm going to wait for all of you connecting to the web. Okay. I press here, for example. Okay. And you can answer in your mobile phones directly. Yes? And here I'm showing, han contestado 3 de 8, 9 de 32 usuarios. I can see the answer number. I can the statistic, yeah. Do you see the administration webpage in my screen? Sorry, it's in Spanish, but I only had time to translate the public page. Okay, but with this application, with this simple application, I can solve this barrier. You can, I can see your hands, but I can see your answer through the accessible technology. With this, I want to say that the technology, the accessible technology, is very important for me, for blind people, for disability people, because with the accessibility technology, we can improve our life much. I'm very nervous, I'm sorry. Oh, how I work? I am a software developer. Many people ask me, how do you work? Because it's very difficult to understand how I am working with a computer. I have a software called Screen Reader. The Screen Reader reads all that appear in the screen allowed with the speaker, in this case with the headphones. I can redirect the sound to the speakers. I'm going to try it. Oh, vale. Aquí. Vale, voy a terminar. Oh, no suena.
The speaker es solo para el vídeo.
Ah, solo para vídeo. Ah, ok. Vale. ¿Me podéis echar un cable para volver a poner el sonido entonces? Que ahora, I redirect the sound and I can now listen my screen reader so I can manage my computer now. Okay, yeah, thank you. This is a problem. When my screen reader crash, I make crazy. I say, oh, I go to restart my computer directly. Okay. I'm going to disconnect the headphone to listen for my speaker. Oh, ahora tampoco suena. Yeah, ¿Sí? Ok.
¿Te lo conecto?
Sí, por favor, déjamelo. ¿Es un altavoz USB?
No, es el tuyo.
Ah, vale. Okay. Thank you. Bye, don't worry. Let's continue. With this screen reader, the screen reader allows me to navigate through control, web pages, forms, windows, menus. It's very nice because without it, I couldn't manage the computer. The only important thing is the operating system must be accessible. If the operating system is not accessible, I can't manage the computer. If the screen reader is unable to extract information about the operating system, I can use the jack. Ok, vamos a intentarlo. A ver. Sí, este. Okay. Yes, this is the screen reader. It's faster. Okay. I'm listening this voice from 20 years ago. So I am trying to understand. For example, I go to put a code fragment. Okay, I'm going to open Visual Studio because I am .NET developer, so I'm working 90% of my job time in Visual Studio. Fortunately, Visual Studio is very accessible, and I can manage it with my screen reader. Another environments are not accessible, so for me it would be a problem if I need to work with them. But in this case, fortunately, I can work with Visual Studio because it's very accessible. For example, I can read the Solution Explorer. Voy a ponerlo, I'm going to a little bit high. For example, the screen reader reads all indentation, punctuation. It doesn't read the color, but I need it, okay? Because I have another alternative system. For example, I can read the highlight text or error, but I can go to the error list. Okay, and I need to read the color in this case. I'm going to put slower. Okay? Yeah.
Una tab. Dos tabs // enlaces. Public virtual action result index. Abre llave. Tres tabs return view.
¿Ves? 3 tabs, 3 tabs. It's in Spanish. I can change.
Assistant idiom inglés. A11D demo dash abre llave. Return view.
I'm not changing the language.
A11
I don't know why.
Abre llave.
But it's I understand.
Job help job exponent.
Okay.
Margen.
Let's continue. I disconnect the jack. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome.
Cuadro de
Oh.
sonido, panel de control. Sonido de más rápido. Más
Parece un
rápido.
Okay. Great. Okay. I use a lot of technology, a lot of accessible technology, accessible tools in my day-to-day. For example, I have a nice system to organize my clothes. I have NFC tags in all my clothes, and I have a NFC reader and a database in which I have set of garments. So I close the tag reader, and I can see if the set is well or not. Right? It's very freaky, but for me it's very, very, very nice because I not be able to remember the color combination. It's impossible for me, and by tag I can do it. So this system is nice because I can wear easily. Okay. I also have a color detector in my iPhone. I have a lot of tools. In Spanish, I said that is my navaja suiza. I don't know. It's in English. Sorry. Yeah, but it's nice. For this reason, I always say that the technology increase our autonomous and our independence. And being a developer is the best decision that I made in my life because when something can be done with a software and the software is not accessible, I can program it. And for me, it's very, very, very nice because I can develop software that help another people like me. So it's a great job. Okay, how I manage a web page. As I said before, for a web page will be accessible, I need that the operating system be accessible and screen reader and assistive tool to read the web page. But more important thing is that the web page must be accessible also. So I try to explain the most important barrier that I found in my day-to-day. Okay, I make a demo, a web page demo, to see that. As you said, I have not a mouse. Okay, it's normal. For me, use a mouse is very dangerous because I can move, but I don't know in what part of the screen I'm pressing, no? And when I say that, I always remember a film. Do you know the film El Milagro de Petinto? Yeah. One of the protagonists is blind. It's a blind woman, and she likes to archery, to train archery. Yeah. And one second, because the sound is no. Well, 1 second. A ver si por el altavoz se escucha por lo menos. Okay, don't worry. ¿Se ve? Sí, ¿no? It's a nice woman. She has the bell to detect Diana. I don't know it's in English. Okay, she turns the bow and let's go. Oh, yeah, great. Okay, but the bicycle. Okay. For this reason, use the mouse is not a good idea. Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. Hola. Ahora, yeah. Okay. So I go to open the demonstration page to see the most important barrier. I know this is a very, very, very quickly introduction to accessibility. But with this speed, I hope that you would be able to view documentation, to see in internet, and be able to create accessible page. This is a little base to learn a little bit about our barrier. Okay. Aquí, where is avance de demo? Okay. Oh. No sale, ¿por qué? Ah, okay, great. Okay. The first important thing is the web page must be a very, very good structure. Why? Because when I read a web page, I cannot see the visual position of the element of the web page. The screen reader is not able to say me the menu is on the left, the content is 2 columns. No. When I read a web page, it reads the screen reader read to me from left to right and from top to bottom. Okay, so for me it's very important to view the web structure. When I speak about structure, I want to say headings, regions. Okay, and for example, with my screen reader, I can get many lists. For example, link list, heading list, input list, form list. And in this case, for example, structure without structure. I disconnect for this. Can you connect the jack for the? Yes. I think it's better that you listen my screen reader to understand. I am saying. A ver. Okay. Okay. When the people develop a web page, doesn't worry about the accessibility, and in many pages the structure is doesn't exist. Okay, for me it's a problem. For example, when I go to put it slower. Okay. Do you understand? Yeah. Yes. Okay. For example, when I try to get the next heading, the screen reader said to me, there is not a heading sections. And it's true because visually you can see the heading because I am using a CSS class, but semantically the heading does not exist. Okay? So, for example, in this order, I can move between headings. Okay, this is Spanglish because my screen reader sentences are reading Spanish now. I don't know why I can change the language. I go to try it, okay? Oh.
Heading level 2 cannot I just use div for everything? The visually appearance is the same.
Okay?
Slower.
It's very, very, very ugly voice, I know.
Faster. Fast blend.
But I can, for example, get a hidden list.
Shift F6. Heading list dialog.
Oh.
Headings list.
And so I can move between headings faster. I don't need to move for the entire page. Imagine that there is a very, very longer web page, has not a structure. So I need to read the entire web page to reach the section that I want. With a good structure, I can move between headings and skip all the information that I don't need. Do you understand? Yeah, okay. Sorry, my English is very limited. So, okay, so a very, very good example of a structure is Justit. Do you know Justit? Just is a web page for food. They don't pay for me, really, but it's a good example. Why? So.
Tab, tag, panel, banner region. Do not screw title list with scrub out there. And then tag, panel, banner region.
I'm going to open. Okay, abrirlo desde aquí mejor. I go to turn in Spanish because the web page is in Spanish now.
Language, JAWS, exponente. Cerrando menús. Aunque tenemos por estructura accesible.
Okay.
Manera en blanco.
Hey. Demo effect now.
Main región. Nivel región principal. Second item enlace.
¿Por qué?
Por estructura. Enlace a gold example o para crear estructura.
Okay, a good example of read the structure.
Croqueta y presumida.
Croqueta y presumida. This is a Justit restaurant here in Madrid, and I can move between headings easily.
Croqueta y presumida Madrid nivel de encabezado 1 enlace. Categorías nivel de encabezado 3. Menú nivel de encabezado 3 enlace. Opiniones nivel de info nivel de menú nivel de encabezado 2.
For example, I have an heading of level 2, and this is menu. If I press the 3 number in the keyboard, I moved to the next heading of level 3 for
croquetas fritas. Nivel
croquetas fritas. The next 3 croquetas frescas. So I can skip all the items that are inside this category. If I want to enter in the category, I press 4 and I go to the next level for
caja de 12 unidades nivel de encabezado 4, caja de 24 unidades nivel de encabezado 4, caja de...
Okay, it's very, very, very nice because with this structure you can see that for me it's very, very, very important to have a good structure, because if Justit don't have a good structure, I make crazy because the web is very, 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 very race is longer. So for read the menu it would be impossible if without a good structure. Okay.
Cerrar, fin de lista, viñeta, enlace 2. Viñeta, enlace 2.
Okay.
Open in a new window.
Vale. Another important barrier for us are the unlabeled images. Okay, I think that is the most known concept about accessibility. The image must have an alternative text. When you put an image in your web, you need to create the alt attribute. For example, can you read it? Yeah. Okay. So this is very important because if the image has not an alternative text, the screen reader is not able to read it. So in some situation, the image is not important, but in other, for example, imagine that the image is inside a link. For example, imagine that I am navigating through a web page and the administration link is an image with, I don't know, what is the icon? But, sorry? Aegean, okay. But, oh, sorry. But if the image is not labeled, I can see what is the section. The screen reader tries to transmit the image path. For example, if the image is /administration.jpg, the screen reader read me the path. But if the image is a unique identifier, for example, I'm lost, okay, because I'm not able to understand what is this link. So it's very important to label at least the images that are inside a link. Another common file for accessibility, when the people decide to label image, is label all the image of the web page, including the decorative text, the decorative images. So in some web page, I read, oh, sorry. I have Twitter open and the screen reader is reading the tweets. I go to close it. I'm going to close it. Oh?
Saliendo.
Saliendo. Thank you. Okay, so in some web pages, I read something like blue border, blue corner, green line. I say, no, please. The decorative image is not necessary to label, okay? Because it doesn't give me information in the web page. You must to label images that give information to me. For example, a picture, and graphic image that give information to the web page context. But decorative images, you don't need to do it, please. Okay. But when you create images, you need to put the alt attribute. But in case of decorative image, the attribute must be empty. Okay, must be present but empty. Yeah.
Lista de los viñeta, círculo vacío, enlace inaccesible form.
Vale. Another important things in the web page are the forms.
Viñeta.
Okay. With the form, the barriers normally are the labels. Normally, the forms control have no label associated to it. So my screen reader is not able to read the label. I see the input, but I don't know what it means. In this case, it reads the name because explicitly the label is close the form, and the screen reader is able to detect it. Okay, but in another situation, the screen reader can do it, and I only listen input text, but I don't know what is it. So for this, you need to create labels, and to associate with the for attribute. You put an identifier to the input, for example, txt name, and with the label, you put label for txt name. Okay? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. This is very simple, but many people don't do it. Okay. Another important thing, the radio button group. For example, you can see here age range, but the group is not well formed. So when I'm passing between the control, the screen reader don't read the heading between 10 and 20, between 20 and 30. But what is the question really here? So it's very important to label the radio button group. How? So accessible form.
Accessibility demo. Región principal. Between 20 and 30 botón de opción de nivel de encabezado 3A range. Between 10 and 20 botón between.
In this case, the screen reader reads the heading, and I can see the heading for the question. Okay. How we do it? With a field set. Do you know the field set tag in HTML? Yes. Yeah. Field set tag. Well, I will publish this web page, so you can see it. I will put the address in Twitter later. Okay. Okay. Divs for everything. This is a common problem here.
Vigneta links por lista de enlace links and button start are mutual station tobe.
Madre mía, vaya inglés que tiene esto. Okay.
Controls.
Normally, now with JavaScript, the people forgot the HTML. When you put a button, you said, a button? No, I need to customize the styles. So I put a div, with JavaScript I put an on click, and this is not accessible. Why? Because semantically, the screen reader is not able to understand.
Lista de 3 elementos. Vigneta item 1.
Item 1,
Vigneta item 2.
item 2.
Vigneta item 3.
Visually, these items are links, but really behind the code, the elements are divs. So the screen reader can't detect like links. If I try to get the link list, the screen reader said to me,
Lista de enlaces diálogo.
only a link, but it's not true, okay? Because you are using div for everything, and it's very common barrier for me. For example, the form,
Name, cuadro de edición. Send. Index send.
the same button, the screen reader is not able to read as button. Why? Because you are using a div, okay? And I can interact with the button because I don't detect it like a button. So what is the solution? Don't use div for everything. There are a lot of tags designed to do the function. You have a button, you have a link. Please use it. You can after customize with CSS. It would be a little bit difficult with kind of control, for example, combo box. I know, but it's very, very important for us because without semantic content, I can read a web page and I can't interact with it.
En blanco. Controls with option.
Another solution, imagine, for example, that you are in a project and the design team said to you, you can't touch the design. Yeah, but I need to make it accessible. Yeah, but you can touch the design. So here we have a help that is ARIA. ARIA is a superset of HTML that allow us to lie the screen reader to put a role to the elements. For example,
Enlace links to net top function as links and button.
okay,
Control. Press F.
and the web page is the same. The controls are the same, but if you see the source code,
T barra 2 a 3. Buscar. Role. Cual. 26 link class igual btn link igual lnk item 1 role igual link también exit.
do you see the role link here? With this attribute, we are saying to the screen reader, yeah, I know this is a div, yeah, but you must believe that this is a button or this is a link. And the screen reader believe it and say to me, it's a link. So I can interact with it, for example.
Control región nivel de encabezado 2 control sublist viñeta enlace item 1.
So it's a enlace, link.
Viñeta enlace item 2.
And if I get the link list, the screen reader retrieve all links.
Item. Item 2.
And the web page is the same, only change the role attribute. So if you can't to change the design and you need to make the web page accessible, ARIA is your ally. There is a sentence. The best form to use ARIA is do not use it, okay? But in some cases, it's necessary.
Viñeta. Las 11:50.
Whoa.
Fin de list. Viñeta enlace item 3.
Okay,
Enter en blanco.
Um,
Control with option. Fin de lista enlace drag and drop only with.
drag and drop is impossible, okay, for me. With the mouse, I can manage. So if you need to create drag and drop, please create an alternative, an accessible alternative. When I read, please drop here your files. Oh my God. Goodbye web page, I cannot use it, okay? So there is forms to create alternative to this functionality.
Enlace responsive. Hexabank algo.
Responsive. Responsive is a good idea, adaptable screen. But in some situation, when I go to a web page and
Responsive. Hexabank.
For example, CaixaBank.
Particulares en precursor no hay cuadros de edición.
¿Cómo que no?
Cursor virtual, CaixaBank, particular, no hay cuadros de edición, no hay campos de formulario. Familias, niveles de catálogos, enlaces, macroenlaces. Lista de enlaces, política de código. Información.
Don't worry.
Cerrar, comer.
The problem is when I put the window bigger or small, the content changes,
Enlace.
and I can view it. I can detect the difference. So sometimes I open a web and I say the web is not the same, but yes, the only difference is that sin querer, sorry, I don't know. I minimize the window and the content change. So sometimes the responsive is a problem for us because we can detect if the web page is in desktop mode or is in mobile mode.
Visitado enlace responsive. Enlace if your Mac and noise you don't listen.
Okay, if you make noise, I don't listen. Imagine, for example, a web page that you enter and you go to read it and
If your Mac.
you start to listen
Un marco.
a music. Oh, for me it's a problem because my screen reader is overlapping. The music is overlapping the screen reader. So when I go to a web page and there is an autoplay, automatically I say goodbye web page.
If your home.
Okay? So please, when you develop web page, never create autoplay videos. It's bad for me.
Enlace surprise link as Kinder.
¿Vale? Surprise link, as Kinder.
Surprise.
Imagine this text.
Surprise en blanco. En blanco. This bar is an heroes. If you want your computer to explode. Visitado enlace click here.
¿Vale? Nobody press the click here. No. But if I get the link list, my screen reader read to me,
Enlaces diálogo. Enlaces presentación en lista. Click here.
click here. Oh. And I said, whoa, click here. What happened if I press the button? I'm curious. So I go to press the button. Oh.
Nivel de encabezado 1 con.
Oh, my computer was crashed. Yeah? So it's very important to make the links with the context. You need to put the entire sentence because when the screen reader extracts the link list, I will be able to understand the link in the list. Okay? So click here, read more. No, please, no. You can, for example, create a link and hide part of the link with CSS. If you don't want to create a big link, you can create the visible part, and hide the other part with CSS. So Bootstrap, for example, has a class SR only that hide the text to screen only, so for screen reader. So you can read more, and with the CSS class to hide visually, put about this item. So I can read, and your design does not change. Okay?
Título. Visitado nivel de encabezado.
Oh.
Enlace accessibility name.
How many time I have? 1 minute. Oh my gosh! So I go faster.
Enlace contact information. Enlace what you say is not what you are. Enlace what you say.
What you say? No, skip this
Enlace.
because I have time. For example, tell me a lie. Okay? This is very interesting.
En blanco.
What are you reading here?
Nobody likes Juanjo. He's an idiot and has no idea of accessibility. And also, his dog is very ugly.
Okay? Yeah.
But he's
And
cute.
my screen reader read.
Blanco. Hey Juanjo. It is a pleasure to have you here among us.
¿No? Juanjo, es un placer tenerte entre nosotros. What happened here? I create both alternative, a visual alternative and a screen reader alternative. Visual alternative, I create with an area attribute, that is area height, that hide the content for screen reader. So the sentence that you have seen is hidden by this attribute, and I can read it. And above it, I put another paragraph with the content that my screen reader is reading, and decorate with the attribute SR only. So you can see it, and my screen reader read to me. What can I see with this? That you can create alternative. You don't need to create a separate page, accessible and not accessible page. It's a bad practice. You can create in the same page alternative to screen reader and to visual people, not visually impaired people. Okay, it's very, very, very easily to do it. There are a lot of many documentation about this. I will put it in my blog and Twitter so you can read it. Okay. Okay. I finish now. When the people ask me, but when I need to create an accessible site, I need to encarecer,
It's
more expensive to the client, to the customer. No, because when you create 3 or 4 web pages, you know how to do it. So you develop do not affect for this. When you create accessible web page, finally, you don't need more time to do it. Okay, it's only a question of learn how to do it. And also another question is, my website will be hourly because will be accessible? No. The design is independent. You can create a beautiful design and an accessible design. Okay, so finished. You have here my contact information if you want to follow me on Twitter or see my blog. And sorry because I spend my time and I would like to extend a little bit, but it's impossible. Sorry? Sí, si queréis, yeah. Okay.
Do you have any question?
Juanjo, ¿prefieres la pregunta en inglés o en castellano?
En inglés?
Sí, por los vídeos en inglés, supongo. Eso.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Yep. Congratulations for the amazing talk you just give. And I know from first hand, because my sister-in-law, she's blind too.
Oh.
And I know the things you have to overcome and the amazing things you have to do
Thank you.
to cover the bad practices the rest of the people do. So my main question is, do you know of some tool that people, not blind people, could use to improve the accessibility in our projects?
Yeah.
Because for me, for example, it's very hard if I can't see the website, I have to see it.
Yeah.
It's very hard to improve it, you know.
Yeah, it's very hard for everybody. It's normal. There are a lot of tools. For example, sorry, I don't remember the name now. Oh, that the best way to check accessibility page is to use a screen reader. Okay, seems a stupid thing that really is the best thing. There is a free screen reader and very powerful. The name is NVDA. Okay.
Yeah, I think I know.
NVDA. You can download it. You can learn many shortcuts, for example, to extract link lists, to move between headings, and you can check your web page with the screen reader. Because sometimes you create a web page, a beautiful web page, and you say, "Oh, my web page is very accessible." I know, but when you go to check with the screen reader, and the screen reader doesn't read nothing, you say, "Oh, I'm doing something bad, but I don't know why."
And are those screen readers free, or you have to pay for them?
I'm using a paid screen reader. It's just for Windows. It's acronym, Job Access with Speed. In this case, ONCE offer us free for the affiliate people. And I am using JAWS just because for developing Visual Studio, this screen reader was fine. And NVDA still need a little bit developed to work in the same way that JAWS. So I will publish the tools to test accessibility because now I'm a little bit lost with the name.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other question? So thank you, Juanjo.
No, you're welcome.